Ayan na. I hope okay na. Oo, medyo nakalimutan natin lagay yung rusting na tayo. Kamusta kayo dyan? Kamusta kayo dyan? Nag-update pa kayo dyan sa nangyari sa atin? Big day po for Commission on Elections today at malaking araw din para sa ating demokrasya because of course guardrail ng democracy yung mga institution katulad ng Commission on Elections. So mahalaga po yung kanilang decision pagdating sa mga ganitong bagay, especially when of course the person involved is one of the leading candidates, if not the leading candidate, no. So yun ang pinag-usapan natin today. Nako, may nag-message na naman yata yung nag-message yung aking editor, wala sa oras tsaka wala pa yung yung Grab delivery. Nako, di pa tayo nag-lunch dahil hinabol natin yung ibang columns and all. Pag-usapan natin itong issue ng disqualification. Katulad ng pinag-usapan natin kahapon, yung mga petitions, multiple petitions po ang pinag-usapan dito. At some petitions are about disqualification. Tapos may petition din dyan about cancellation, no? Nung certificate of candidacy. At sinabi natin, no, pag pinag-usapan yung issue ng cancellation, ibig sabihin wala nang pwedeng mangyaring replacement dyan, no? Kaya big yun, no? Big yung petition na yan. But it was struck down, but that's not the end of the story. Yung mga petitioners, I think Attorney Tay is the one leading the effort. Sabi nila, pwede nila appeal yan, at pag in-appeal yan, pwede ito bumalik en banc, no? So, yung hindi lang yung division na nag-strike down, no, but yung full en banc doon sa mga commissioners na mag-decide from COMELEC, no. So let's see, may mga there are few days left pa before we can have a finality in terms of saying ano talagang mangyari doon sa petition for cancellation of candidacy ng isang kandidato, former Senator Bongbong Marcos, no. So hindi pa tapos, not so fast. So, ibig sabihin, meron pang ibang petitions, no? At yung ibang petitions naman, disqualifications yung basis at iba-iba yung basihan, no? Of course, yung iba, tinitignan yung issue ng moral turpitude, yung iba, tinitignan yung nature nung supposed conviction at yun ang basis for disqualification. May mga nagsayo pa na yung issue ng payment of fine, etc. So, tignan natin ano yung decision. So, yung isang division pa lang nag-decide sa isang petition, pero yung isa pang division, no? Tignan po natin kung anong yung decision nila, no, dun sa mga remaining petitions. So hindi pa tapos ang laban para sa mga petitioners, but at the same time, of course, the camp of former Senator Ferdinand Marcos Jr., of course, mukhang talagang they're gonna use any victory here to cast the entire petitions, no, hindi lang one but the whole bundle of petitions as kumbaga politically motivated and with no legal basis whatsoever. So nakikita natin dyan na mga supporters ni former Senator Marcos ay excited at nung nilalabas nila dito na parang tapos ng laban dun sa mga nag-hope na matapos ang issue na yan. But let's see, hindi pa tapos. In the coming minutes or hours, siguro malalaman po natin na kung ano talagang mangyari dito. I'm just double checking some of the latest updates na lumalabas dun sa mga tao na there at the very front line. So alam nila yan. By the way, of course, yung initially si James Jimenez nag-announce siya na 10 a.m. onwards lalabas yung mga decisions, no, today, no. But at the same time, may isa pang contradictory statement from another official na sinasabi na baka hindi pa tapos yung decision sa mga petitions today. And then boom, suddenly nakita natin itong lumabas from second division, no, na ginunk yung the only petition that was calling for cancellation of COC, which by the way can be appealed and then later will be discussed en banc by the COMELEC, no, in the coming days. So tignan natin how fast that will happen. Andyan na yata yung pagkain ko, wait lang. But of course, huwag natin kalimutan na we're talking about multiple divisions ng COMELEC involved dito on multiple petitions, no. Dun sa first division, ang petitions ay filed by Akbayan, Bonifacio Ilagan and other martial law survivors, and Partido Federal Faction, no. So there are 3 petitions na hinandle ng first division and we're yet to get updates on that, no. Yung second division naman, petition filed by Ilocano Group, lawyered by parang Christian Minsud, and then mukhang si former Supreme Court official Attorney Te was one of the persons who oversaw that. So may mga ibang petitions pa nangyari, and there are people, no, especially mga critical sa Marcos, na hopeful na the first division will kind of lean differently from second division, and considering that the petitions, the nature of the petitions is also different, and some would argue that in fact the cases may be more powerful. Huwag natin kalimutan na even if ma-resolve ito sa level ng Commission on Elections, Supreme Court could get involved in this, katulad na nangyari dun sa dati, no, dun sa case ni former Senator actually Grace Poe, former presidential candidate Grace Poe, no. So yon, just temporary update lang kasi marami pang pwede mangyari in the coming minutes, hours, and days, no. So this issue can actually drag on, but of course if you're the Marcos camp, ang sasabihin mo talaga dito is, well, this is just a foretaste of things to come, no, na yung nag-struck down yung isa, mukhang same lang mangyari sa iba, at whatever the other side wants to say, tuloy ang laban nila, and well, as some of the surveys suggest, they're gonna be in very strong position too. So tignan natin yan, no. So yun, in short, yung na-struck down po ay yung certificate for cancellation of yung na-struck down po is the petition that called for cancellation of the certificate for the candidacy. So pag nangyari yon, which hindi nangyari so far, well, hindi na pwede magkaroon ng replacement. Pero yung iba naman disqualification, so kung na-disqualify, pwede pang replacement, and wala pa tayong decision dyan from the Commission on Elections so far na base dun sa mga nakikita natin yan. Of course, interesting din sino mga nakaupo sa mga divisions na yan. Pwede natin pag-usapan yan later on. So yun, I'm actually also following yung Twitter handle ng some of the commissioners on Division 1, no? At some would say maybe that division will lean a little bit differently for different reasons, including yung nature of the petitions, and probably stronger yung magiging cases ng petitions dyan, no? So yun, tignan natin yan. And by the way, may appeal process po. So today is not the final day on these issues. So tignan natin yan. Alright? Okay. May quick tanong kayo dyan before mag-break muna tayo. Kasi ayoko na magsalita more kasi ano lang, FYI lang na hindi pa tapos ang issue na yan. You know, marami pang natira. Yun lang gusto ko lang sabihin, no? I'm not gonna say anything more in terms of the substance ng issue na yan until medyo lumabas pa yung ibang decision, no? Especially yung sa Division 1, pagdating sa issue na pagdating sa disqualification issues, and all. Sorry, I'm just looking at multiple editors, etc. They're messaging me and all of that on different issues. At interesting, parang nangyari dun sa na-struck down is parang yung reasoning is that because yung Court of Appeals ay hindi dun sa kanilang ruling, hindi nila sinabi na dapat sentenced to imprisonment, at yung crime na involved ay hindi include ng moral turpitude. So that's why hindi valid yung perpetual disqualification na pinupush ng petition na yan. But of course, sinasabi ng mga petitioners na wait lang, parang not necessarily siguro hindi naman kailangan na i-specify yan, etc. So they have some arguments to make. Let me just try to pull up yung sinabi ni Attorney Te and why they're still confident na pwede nilang ihabol ito. Yun lang. Sige. Or mamaya na lang ihabol natin yan. Sorry, medyo low budget tayo. Kung pwede sana i-pull out ko dito sa screen para makikita niyo talaga yung mga legal arguments na lumalabas dito sa issue na yan. So, yun. So, yun lang. Not so fast. You know, we can still see developments on this issue. But of course, if you're in the Marcos camp right now, we're gonna feel a little bit more confident. And yun, for them, this is just a foretaste of what's to come. Yun lang, pinapatagal lang yung inevitable. So, yun ang magiging argument nila. But let's see. All right, multiple petitions. I mean, in a way, you know, this also reminds me of the multiple cases of corruption that was filed against, you know, them. And yes, they won some of them, but they also lost a lot of them, right? Kaya nga maraming na-retrieve ng government throughout the years, di ba? Billions po ang na-retrieve.